right, let's now bring in SABC News reporter Calvin Dludla. He's been covering this story for us. A very good afternoon to you, Calvin. Of course, an interesting morning today. A number of key routes, in fact, in Johannesburg being closed off to motorists in peak traffic, I might add. Just talk to us about what you know. Essentially, was the leadership of the EMPD even aware about, this protest?
Good afternoon to you, Unati, and to our SABC viewers at home. I can tell you that the leadership, especially from the city of Ekurhuleni, they were not aware of the protest. We were told by the MMC responsible for community safety in that city, that would be Sizakele Masuku, that they were not aware. They were caught by surprise in the morning when they heard that there were road closures, especially on the R21 heading to OR Tambo International Airport. You would know very well that that is one of the busiest roads. Yeah. So if they block that road, everything would be at standstill. So we were told that they were not aware, but they tried by all means. You saw that they deployed members of the South African Police Service to make sure that they restore order.
So we understand now the R21 is now opened to traffic. What are some of the demands by the metro officers? I mean, what are they telling you?
They are telling us that, amongst other things, as a salary increase. They are saying that they want adjustment of 60 hours overtime into basic salary, abolishment of the overtime system linked to the 32-point system, deployment and operational changes, recognition of EMPD's officers' contribution to crime prevention and city protection, salary discrepancies and lack of benefits, unfair promotion and equity policies, comparison to other metro law enforcement agencies, unanswered demands and lack of progress and demands for immediate response and resolution. One of the key points they mentioned is that they are working in Gauteng province. They are comparing themselves with the Johannesburg Metro Police Department and Tshwane. They are saying that they are getting lesser shifts compared to these two, GMPD and EMPD, and then they are getting lesser days, they are getting lesser hours. But when they compare with their fellow members, they are getting more. So they just want an explanation as to why is that happening.
So essentially they're saying that there is salary discrepancy between the Tshwane Metro Police as well as the JMPD, as it relates to the EMPD. Is that essentially what they're saying in as far as the salary discrepancies are concerned? Yes,
and they are telling us that they have been trying to knock and communicate with the authorities, but no one is answering them. They are telling us that on the 27th, they are giving them the 27th of March as the deadline, and if government does not respond, especially the city of Ekurhuleni, they will go back to the streets and protest. And MMC Masuku told them that, okay, it's fine, you are saying you have these grievances, let's talk. The management and some of the EMPD officials and SAMU, the union, they went to close doors and then they spoke. And then when they came back to us, they told us that, okay, we spoke and these were the grievances, and then we have given them up until the 27th to make sure that they come with the solution on this, unless we are going back to the streets.
Now, you were at the scene. I mean, just talk to us about the kind of scene that you saw there, particularly as it relates to, how they were relating to the leadership team in terms of just the frustration on the ground in as far as the members are concerned. And of course, on the other side of that, you had deadlock in most roads. I would imagine the frustration with motorists, given that it is peak traffic, that was affected.
Yeah, in the morning when we were rushing there, most of the major routes were closed, including your R21 to OR Tambo International Airport. But we were told by the city released a media statement saying that, as you have mentioned, that the roads were successfully opened. They moved from there to the civic center, Germiston Civic Center. That is where they gathered, and you would see that it's not normal for EMPD protest, and now police are being called to restore order. There were public order policing members, even from Pretoria. You would see Pretoria cars, you would see Germiston cars, Protea, and you would see that there were a lot of EMPD, and they were saying things, they were singing songs that unfortunately I can't repeat here because of the content that it had, but they were very angry, saying that they've been trying by all means to engage the senior authorities, but unfortunately no one is listening to them. They are saying that it has been long that they were not getting increases. They are complaining about working conditions. They are complaining about a lot of things, but some represented them and said that tomorrow again they will meet with the management, because we are told that MMC Masuku, responsible for community safety, told them that, okay, let's meet with the mayor of the city tomorrow and engage on this. Then I will come back to you and tell you what he or she says, and then after that we will have to talk. But they told her that on the 27th, if you don't come with what we want, and then we are going back to the streets.
And that is, of course, very concerning, because I mean, these are law enforcement authorities that have a pertinent job in as far as safety is concerned. Thank you so much, Calvin, for that update. I'm sure, I have no doubt that we'll continue to keep an eye on this particular story. That was Calvin Dludla there for us, keeping an eye on that particular protest.